You are Locked On Wolverines Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Detroit on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into a live Locked On Wolverines Postcast. I am your host, Jake Riepma, and woof, it's a final at the Big House, 27-9. Ohio State comes in, dominates, and really cruises to what you can deem an easy victory. The first time since 2019. The Buckeyes now undefeated, 12-0. Michigan falls to 9-3. This is your post-game show on the number one sports podcast platform, the Locked On Podcast Network. Make sure you like today's video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Isaiah Hull brings you the daily show, and I bring you the instant reaction post-game show. So lots to get into in this one. We'll talk about how Michigan's offense was completely shut down, how Ohio State beat Michigan at their own game, completely dominating the physicality of this game. Michigan just completely overmatched. Yes, there was a controversial touchdown for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'll tell you right now, that's not why Ohio State won this game. And then, as always, we'll have our biggest talking point, our turning point, and our player of the game. As always, you're invited to encouraged to participate in the program. Let your voice be heard. Go ahead and throw a comment in there, what you thought of this game and the biggest reason why Michigan came up woefully short in this one. And really just despite the way the season had gone with a lot of important wins, there just wasn't that signature statement win for the Michigan Wolverines so far this season. And at 9-3, obviously be on the outside looking in for any of the college football playoff, postseason, that sort of thing. And we'll await what bowl game they will go to. But I appreciate everyone tuning in all season long on the Instant Reaction Show. It's been a lot of fun, but we have to start where we always do, and that is our biggest talking point.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You can explain this game in less than 30 seconds to someone. Ohio State was the more physical team. They were the more skilled team. They were the better team on both sides of the ball. They were the smarter team. They were the more poised team, and they were the team that was ready to play. And there's not one element of this game that you can look at and say Michigan had the upper hand. Who was the better quarterback? It was Julian Sand. Who was the better offensive line? It was the Ohio State Buckeyes. Who had the better rushing attack? The Ohio State Buckeyes. Who had the better skill players? The Ohio State Buckeyes. And the list goes on and on and on. And probably most telling was the lack of the pass rush for the Michigan Wolverines. Zero ability to generate any kind of pressure on saying the long pass to Tate for what felt like kind of the nail in the coffin in that touchdown that put Ohio State up 2 scores. They eventually got the field goal to go up 3 scores, but that was a big difference maker in this one, where it was just so emblematic of the entire game, where he has so much time to throw and you look at the double move that Tate put on and the safety getting sucked up and just dropping it in the bucket was the exact result of that long touchdown play that gives Ohio State the touchdown. And really, Michigan's offense was shut down so much in this one that they weren't coming close to getting back into this game the way Ohio State's defense is. As painful as it is to say, the way Matt Patricia's led Ohio State defense shut down Michigan's offense in this one. A little worried about Bryce Underwood. He missed a lot of throws today. And Michigan's skill players were unable to create any kind of space to get open. I know Michigan obviously banged up on the rushing attack. You've got Jordan Marshall trying to play and fight through the injury, and he looked good early. But when Michigan settles for a field goal in the opening drive to go up 3-0, and then the field goal to go up 6-0, and they even hold Ohio State to that field goal after the Barham penalty to make it 6-3, but settling for field goals in this type of game, when you know the opportunities inside the red zone, inside the scoring position, even on the other opposition's other side of the 50, are going to be limited. You can't settle for field goals. And honestly, that is one of many areas in which this game came down to too. And if you want to do just the sum of all the parts and kind of just summarize it in its entirety, Ohio State was a much better team. Ohio State is the best team in the country, and I think Ohio State, in a lot of ways, is going to be the clear favorite to win a national championship. Now, obviously, we'll find out a little bit more when they play Indiana in the Big Ten championship game next Saturday. But this is a really good Ohio State team, and this Michigan team not up to that level quite yet. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of the stats in this one as well, because I think when you look at how Michigan had zero ability to move the ball, let's look at some of these drives in the second half, because it was also, you got to give Ohio State, this was another thing I wrote down as far as turning points in this game, where Ohio State went 2 for 1 with the 11 play, 87-yard drive to end the first half and steal a possession from Michigan, because obviously there's only 16 seconds left in the first half when they score that game to go up 17-9. And then in the third quarter, they get the ball back. Now, they did punt to begin that drive, but they get on their second possession. The third quarter, there was only 2 possessions for both teams, and the 2-play 57-yard drive for Ohio State to make it 24-9. And then in the fourth quarter, again, just completely controlling every element of this game. So that being said, Michigan, they await what their bowl game will be, but a disappointing finish to this one in a game that really exposed a lot of the weaknesses that this Sharon Moore-led team had. The weakness of the inability to be explosive on offense, the weakness to, and when you're unable to control the line of scrimmage, what that looks like, and zero rushing attack. And I do worry that Bryce Underwood's first year lacked the type of development that you would want to see from the highly touted, high 5-star recruit, top recruit in the country, to where he was when he started the season compared to where he is now. You didn't really see a lot of growth and a lot of development. Now, can he make a jump in year 2? Absolutely. But the training wheels need to come off. The development and kind of being thrown into the fire. No more babying Bryce Underwood. He has to be, if he's going to be touted as this 5-star top recruit in the country, you got to expect him to make throws down the field. And a great running attack helps that, obviously. But Michigan did not have that today against a really good Ohio State team. And, you can really sum it all up in the second half. Michigan didn't gain any yards. Literally, I mean, I'm seeing in the comments -3 total yards in the second half, and that sounds about right. I don't have it broken down in front of me on the box score, but man, really no part of this game in the second half could you look to at Michigan and have any type of encouraging positive thought in any capacity. So it is the definition of a good old-fashioned ass whooping, and Michigan fans just have to take this on the chin. There's no excuses to be made. There's no juggling, rationalizing it, or anything of that nature. If you want to talk about the first touchdown for Ohio State, where the ball is being juggled across the goal line, and it looks like Jeremiah Smith is juggling the ball as he crosses the goal line, I would listen to that argument. I thought in real time, I almost didn't even notice it in real time. And then when you slow it down, there's certainly a transfer taking place where there's the appearance of losing possession. Now, it's called a touchdown on the field. I think that's a big part of it as well. You've got a lot of different pundits chiming in on Twitter and everything else of what, this play should have been called and how it should have been officiated. But at that time, yes, that put Ohio State up 10-6. But if we want to do what happened the rest of the game, if Ohio State scores a couple more touchdowns, whatever it is, I mean, it's all hypothetical. Take that for what it is. It's all hypothetical. But again, I said it in the open and I'll reiterate it here. I don't think that missed call is why Michigan lost this game. They were dominated from start to finish is why Michigan lost this game, not because the Jeremiah Smith touchdown stood. So you can hate me for that take. That's fine. You can be upset with me, but That's just a dose of reality here. And then the last thing I'll say is, and I just saw the comment here, fake tough garbage, and that's from Ball Don't Lie V2R. I thought it was exactly that, and I think that's just such a good way to put it. Not that I'm getting on the, I mean, I can't stand Ohio State fans, obviously, or Ryan Day for that matter, or anything Ohio State, but it felt like Michigan just was there to, and I get it, it's a rivalry game, sure, but just play the game. Don't, the not taunting, but the words after the play and everything else just gets so nauseating to watch play after play after play, when the best way to shut anybody up, or the best way to make a statement emphatically, is go be the better team, go dominate the line of scrimmage, do what the Michigan Wolverines did in these games the last several years, and you don't have to worry about dissing somebody else or talking smack to somebody else. I played the game at, obviously not the D1 level, but at the D2 level, and tensions are high. I get it, and you don't want to have your manhood shown up or anything like that, but just play the game and go out and make plays, and that is how you make a statement, in my opinion. But I'm off my what do they call it? Off my soapbox for a second here. Let's take a quick break and come back with our turning point, and then we will talk about our player of the game. Don't go anywhere. That's all next on the live Locked On Wolverines post-game show. This is the #1 sports podcast network, the Locked On Podcast Network. Back in just a second. This episode of the Locked On Wolverines postcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Game Time. The World Cup is coming back to North America for the first time since 1994. And with 48 teams for the first time ever, it's going to be massive. And let's be honest, getting tickets is usually the hardest part. That's why Game Time and the Game Time app is clutch, finally giving fans a real advantage when it comes to snagging seats. With Game Time, you can track price drops in real time, get alerts when you see great seats that open up, and you can buy tickets the moment they hit the app. And it puts the power back in your hands and makes going to the World Cup realistic instead of impossible. All you do is pull up the app. The layout makes it so simple. You scroll through the matchups and you compare the great seat views. You pick a game, tap the section you might want to have, or if you want to have your tickets locked in within minutes, all you can do, and that is the way to go. You literally see what the pitch looks like from your exact seat before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets. Every match, concert, or event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. Use that code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Download the app, make an account, use code Locked On College for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go Game Time. This episode of the Locked On Wolverines postcast is also brought to you by our good friends at Omaha Steaks. The holidays always feel a little easier when you already know the perfect gift, and Omaha Steaks makes it almost too simple. Whether you're treating yourself this season or sending something memorable to family and friends, Omaha Steaks delivers handcrafted perfection right to your door. And this week is the best time to jump in because the cyber sale is here and the deals are huge. The quality is the exact type that you would hope for: incredibly tender steaks, rich in flavor, and meals that make hosting or weeknight cooking even easier. And the variety is underrated. I'm talking steaks, burgers, comfort meals, sides, desserts. It's one of those gifts that truly fits anyone. And honestly, it's the kind of gift that brings people together and you don't need to guess anyone's sizes. Save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and extra 20% off select favorites during the cyber sale. And for an additional $35 off, use promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's promo code COLLEGE at checkout at omahasteaks.com. Promo code COLLEGE. Terms apply. See site for details. Michigan falls to the Ohio State University. The Ohio State Buckeyes 27-9, the final. And it was, quite frankly, maybe not even that close. Michigan unable to get into the end zone. They settle for the 3 field goals. The Ohio State defense putting the clamps down all day. There's no doubt about that. But we do have to get to our turning point, or this one turned around.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I got to believe the turning point in this one was when Michigan settled for 3 field goals, and 2 field goals in particular on the first drive, where so much momentum was taking place. And given how much of a struggle it was going to be in scoring on this Ohio State defense, the first field goal, 6-play drive, 48 yards. And the second field goal after the interception, you get down there, you're so close, but the inability to punch it in would totally have changed and dictated a little bit differently of the way this game played out. But as I said earlier, that even if Michigan goes up, again, we're playing hypotheticals here, but the way Ohio State's defense completely owned the Wolverines throughout the course of the rest of the game, you score 2 touchdowns there. I mean, Michigan's defense would have had to be perfect because Ohio State was that good defensively. And it might listen, if you don't like this take, I understand, but you can chop it up to Ohio State having much better players, execution. I guess maybe the ready to play part of it. I mean, there was some Ohio State guys there on a mission. The broadcast talked about how guys that, even though they won a national championship last year, are still waiting for that first pair of gold pants that they get for beating Michigan. So I don't think, if you're an Ohio State fan and you're watching this and you think, well, just come out and say it, and I think I kind of have that Ohio State's the better team, and the unblemished record is all proof in that. So that being said, let's get to our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I think he's got a chance to win the Heisman Trophy, and that's quarterback Julian Sayin. After that early interception, he was on the money, finishes 19 of 26 for the 3 touchdowns. A lot of credit there. Receiving-wise, Carnell Tate, I talked about the big catch that he had, 5 catches with the 1 touchdown, 82 yards. Impressive there. All of Ohio State's offense was really good, and their defense was really good as well. I mean, that's a team littered with first-round draft picks, and Ryan Day is got them playing at a really elite level. In fact, we might, if they run through the playoffs unbeaten, we might be looking at one of the best teams in college football history. Certainly hard-pressed to not make that argument based on everything that they've done so far in the regular season, and then what they could accomplish moving forward. So, all right. Appreciate everyone tuning in all season long. We'll see where the Michigan Wolverines end up on the bowl game, and continue to check out the Daily Show with Isaiah Hull, and go ahead and like today's video, subscribe to the channel. All that is greatly appreciated as Michigan comes up short against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tough day for Bryce Underwood, tough day for the Michigan Wolverines all together. Ohio State wins this one going away 27-9. But hey, no post-game drama or fights or anything like that. Just the way football's meant to be. Just good old-fashioned in the snow there. You got the rivalry, grittiness, and everything else that we love about the sport. My name is Jay Creamer. You can catch me on the Locked On Lions squad show, as well as the post-game show. And now that the Michigan Wolverines season, regular season anyways, before the bowl game's coming to an end, we'll have one more postcast there. But Other than that, we wait till baseball season starts or whatever Locked On decides to do with the NBA side of things. But appreciate that, and appreciate everybody tuning in all season long. Even though Michigan got their butts kicked today, it was a 9-3 regular season. We'll see what the future is for Sharon Moore and everything else. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you next time on the Locked On Wolverines postgame show.